Alright, guys. Another football video, and this was requested via text message from a friend of mine. Um, he basically asked me, are you going to do your good thing or bad thing that Lovie Smith is still the head coach of the Chicago Bears up until 2012 video? And I told him, wait, and he just said, short and sweet, yes or no. And I said no, and you want to go into more detail, watch when the video comes up. So here it is. And I just stated the answer. I say no primarily because he can't coach or play Chicago ball worth anything, and he couldn't even coach or play a good game even if his life depended on it. And to go back in time a little bit, 2006, 2007, this was my, junior year of high school. This was my junior year of high school when the Bears went to the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 41. And I was the manager of my high school's football team. And there was a couple of plays where I'd be like, all right, well, we need to try this one, we need to try that one, we need to try a little something different, yeah, so-and-so, you try this, so-and-so, you try that, and let's hope it works. And the vast majority of the plays, they ended up working, but the 10% that didn't work, I openly admit it. I said, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't have done that, maybe we should have done that, maybe we shouldn't have done this. But I openly admitted to my mistakes, and I said, all right, this is what they were, these are the outcomes, and I'm gonna make sure they don't happen again. And basically, same scenario for Lovie Smith. He makes the same mistakes over and over, at least in terms of the defense and the offense. Excuse me. It's like a perfect example. When you have Jay Cutler on the field, the vast majority of the times he has the ball, Cutler to Forte, boom, Cutler gets taken. Cutler or Forte would get taken down the minute the ball's thrown. The Cutler has the ball, Cutler to Forte. The minute Forte catches it, he turns around and you got 7 guys jumping on him. So if anything, he moves at least like 5 centimeters before he gets knocked on his ass and the ball goes flying out of his hand. But I was really shocked knowing that Cutler started throwing to more people. Second to Matt Forte, he'd be throwing the ball to Earl Bennett and Greg Olsen, and I'm like, all right, well, this is what the guys shouldn't be doing. They should be having Jay Cutler throw the ball to other people instead of just the same thing. Cutler to Forte, Forte gets taken down, the other team gets the ball, and they score a touchdown. And I think it was a little too late in the season to say that, but thinking out loud, I'm like, all right, well, Jay, there's more to the game than just throwing it to Matt Forte, having him turn around and having him get knocked down on his keister. So try and throw the ball to other people for once. And Cutler throws the ball to Bennett and Olsen and whomever else that may be there, other than Matt Forte, and 1 time out of 10 they end up getting a touchdown. And it really shocked me. And it was when I watched something like that, I'm already thinking, oh crap, they finally got the concept. Throw the ball to somebody else. There's more than just one guy on the field. It's not just Cutler and Forte on the field. There's Hunter Hillenmeyer. There's I can't think of his name. There's Brian Urlacher. There's Matt Forte. There's Earl Bennett. There's Hunter Hillenmeyer. There's Greg Olsen. There's a bunch of other people that you could throw the ball to. And when it comes to something like that, chances are Lovie Smith is the one calling the shots, and he's the one that's hoping that the play pans out. And at least in my view, Lovie Smith, you couldn't coach and or play a good game of Chicago ball if your life depended on it. And I'll full on admit that, because at least in my view, I know, at least in my heart, going on a gut feeling and personal preference, I'd make a better coach than you, primarily because of the fact that If there's something that does or does not need to be changed, or something that does or does not need to be said to somebody, um, unlike you, I would take the opportunity and run with it. And one of the other many reasons why you make my hometown sick is primarily because you don't seem to have your head and your ass wired on the same page. Because, like what I saw a couple months ago in an interview, you said, basically paraphrasing, you said, and I quote, "We're still in the mix for a playoff spot, and we have a couple things on the roster that still need to be fixed on." So, those small things on the roster I have yet to see changed. And how can you say you're still in the mix for a playoff spot when you're like 4 or 5 games behind the number 1 team? So yeah, congratulations, Lovey, on your stupidity.
And I gotta tell you something, yeah, that's classic, not vintage, but classic.
Thank you, Radius. Anyway, one of the many reasons why I would make a better coach is primarily that. Admit to your mistakes, change things around, make the team a whole lot better, and if nothing else, sign new people. Sign people who actually know how to kick some ass and take some names. Like, excuse me, like a whole list of guys I can't think of. I'm just going off the top of my head here. Say, for example, say you got a guy like a Donovan McNabb. Say you got a Michael Vick. Say you got a Rodney Harrison. Say you got a guy like Ben Roethlisberger. Hell, even number 19 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, getting the Vikings on my mind now. Adrian Peterson from the Vikings was the other guy. Ben Roethlisberger, Adrian Peterson from the Vikings, Michael Vick, Rodney Harrison, Donovan McNabb, and even a guy like Keyshawn Johnson from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number 19, one of the best guys I've ever seen, at least in terms of Tampa Bay. I don't really know all that much about him, but Keyshawn Johnson, one of the best guys who have ever stepped onto the field, and he's a good player. I'll give him that much. And if we had guys like him, or Jerry Rice, or Warren Sapp, or somebody like that on the field right now, playing for the Chicago Bears, we probably would have had 2 or 3 more Super Bowls under our belt. But then again, who's going to want to turn down a contract for a couple $1 million a year just to say, all right, even though deep down in their hearts they're thinking, yeah, we know this guy's coaching is bullshit, but let's give him the money in a couple extra years anyway, see what he does. And unfortunately, the results are the same. You make it to the playoffs, you get to the playoffs, you make it to the Super Bowl, you lose, you continue to keep going, and you still fail to make it. So, Lovie Smith, my personal opinion and personal challenge to you, who would make a better coach of the Chicago Bears? You're looking at him. And if anybody out there has what it takes to even tell Lovie himself that I would probably make a better coach, feel free to tell him. I won't be too surprised if he came knocking on my door shortly after he saw this video and said, yeah, maybe this guy can help me. Just a mere NFL fan, so I'm looked at, but many other people too. They would even say the same thing. Yeah, I'd make a better coach than this guy. I'd make a better coach than that guy. But there's one thing that you can learn out of all this. It's this: the major slice of the cake. You get rid of Ron Rivera, chances are okay. Get rid of Dick Duran as the head coach, you're in trouble. And that's my 2 cents on Lovie Smith's post job as being the coach of the Chicago Bears. And feel free to post video comments, subscriptions, and everything else. You want me to subscribe to you? That's great. If not, that's fine too. And also on my Super Bowl predictions video, key players for the Saints, I accidentally said Maurice Jones-Drew. I meant to say Randall Gay. So I will catch you guys later.